Welcome back to the Nerdcore podcast. The podcast reviews of movies and talks that nerd shit. This is episode 456, and I'm sorry for keeping you on the starting soon page there. 456, and it is our first review of Denis Villeneuve Month here on the Nerdcore podcast. And as always, this is an energy kind of here to host the show. Lots of my wonderful co-host, Young Yoda.
What's up, everybody? I'm just saying Denis because I can't say the last name. I
Yeah,
will just
Brad, but
butcher it.
you're the one who's Cajun, Brad. You're the one who's half
Cajun.
French.
Villeneuve.
Yeah.
Villeneuve.
It took me having to hear Timothy Chalamet pronounce it to understand how it is actually pronounced. But yeah, three guys in the cup. Oh no, no, no. But we are being joined by an extra person today. Of course, we are being joined by the director of one of the director of photography. Before I leave, and one of my best friends in the world, Kelvin.
Hello.
Well, apparently it has great air conditioning.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, apparently it's that good to wear a freaking sweater. I mean,
exactly.
a jacket.
I'm
I feel
jealous.
like you're wearing it because we're gonna be watching the thing after this, so it's like
hmm
it takes
No, it's
place in
on
it.
brand.
Wait.
Yeah.
Which thing? The original or the remake?
Original.
Okay, good.
No,
Yeah,
not the.
1982.
Not
man.
we don't talk
That'd be
about the
funny.
remake.
I wouldn't watch that if you paid
Mm.
me to.
Yeah, yeah. But how are we doing today, Brad? What's up? How you doing today, man?
Tuesday. On a Tuesday.
Who
That's
the
all I
hell
can
said
say.
I
It's
was
Tuesday.
leaving? Yeah. Who the hell said I was leaving?
Where are we
Before
leaving?
I leave.
Where are we going?
Oh,
Oh.
That's funny.
Oh. Knee slapper.
ha, ha, ha. Yeah. But yeah, dude. Brad, glad to hear that you're doing good. How was work, man?
Went to the
Fucking
job,
work.
got paid, came home. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh man, but Kelvin, what's up with you, bro? How you been today? What you been up to?
Today's been good. Today's just been like relaxing, laying down, chilling. Gonna have to work these next 4 days, so trying to get
Hmm.
as much downtime as possible before then.
Yeah. When's what time is call time tomorrow?
It's 9.
Oh, okay. No more 5 a.m.s.
So no more fives. And tomorrow's
Yeah.
9, but I only have to be there for like an hour and a half. And
Oh,
then the
okay.
next 4 days are like, or the days after that are like full days. So we'll see how it
Oh,
goes.
yeah, yeah. All right, man. Well, it's good to have you here, though. Kelvin wanted to what's it called? Wanted to come on because he really likes this movie, and
Yeah, he's
also,
great.
yeah, Kelvin's also a big fan of Denis
Of
as well,
course.
of course. But yeah, man. Just another day at work for me, and it's been that way for a while now. Stuck in the vicious cycle of just work, podcast, repeat, and I desperately need something new to come in here so I can do it. But
Mhm.
yeah, um, I don't. Yeah, today we had a new trailer for Morbius that looks like absolute shit. So I'm not gonna really talk more about that, and I'm not gonna dedicate time on the live show to talk about that trailer. So yeah, Brad, did you get to watch that?
No, I did watch
No.
the Book of Boba Fett trailer though.
Oh hell yeah, we're
That
gonna talk
looked
that
dope.
on Friday.
That
Yeah, we're
looked
talking
dope.
about that on
Yeah.
Friday. Yeah, but that Morbius trailer, oh, looks still horrible.
Nah,
Horrible.
I mean, what do you expect from Sony?
Sony doesn't give a fuck, bro.
Sony's like, oh, we make shit and they will still come see it. We'll make
What's
billions
the
of
Morpheus
dollars.
one?
Morbius.
hmm
Morbius is the living vampire from the Spider-Man comics,
Oh wow.
and
He's a big bat.
he's a big bad. He's
He's a
big
big bat.
bad, but now he's being marketed as the line between good and evil, which
So
is
he's a
just an
he's an
anti-hero.
anti-hero like
Yeah,
Venom.
Oh, who would have guessed?
it's
Who would
basically
have
the new.
guessed?
It's basically the
I,
new Travis Bickle.
does anybody remember the
Mr. Weed.
cartoons? I remember the
No.
cartoons, and Morbius was a complete villain. He was a complete asshole.
Yeah, that's fucking asshole in the comics, bro.
Yeah.
But enough of that. We're here to talk about Enemy, and of course, y'all, this is Denis Villeneuve Month here on the Nerdcore podcast. We are going to be talking and celebrating the films of Denis Villeneuve, And this week we actually get two reviews because this week is finally our Dune review, and we're gonna be talking about
Dune.
Dune this Thursday live, and it'll be available for everybody on the podcast platforms on Saturday. But without further ado,
I'm
y'all,
only here for the spice.
only here for the spice, the sandworm flashlights, right, Brad?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hey man, you laughed at that.
Yeah, I know. I hated that, bro. But without further ado, of course, if you've never seen Enemy and you don't want to get spoiled, then this is your chance to get out of here. But if you don't care about spoilers or you've seen Enemy before, this is your one. Then you can stay. Either way, how it goes is your one and only spoiler warning, and it is in effect in a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Enemy is a 2013. It's my spoiler warning noise, bro. Enemy is a 2013 surreal psychological mystery drama thriller film directed by Denis Villeneuve, produced by M.A. Faura and Niv Feichman, written by Javier Guyon. It was loosely adapted from Jose Saramago's 2002 novel The Double. The film stars Jake Gyllenhaal in a dual role as two men who are physically identical but different in personality. Melanie Laurent, Sarah Gadon, and Isabella Rossellini co-star. It is an international co-production of companies from Spain and Canada. Enemy premiered in the special presentation section of the 2013 Toronto International Film Festival on September 8th. Upon its wide release by A24 on March 14, 2014, the film earned $3.4 million at the box office and received positive reviews. Enemy earned 10 nominations at the second Canadian Screen Awards, winning 5, including Best Director for Villeneuve and Canadian Screen Award for Best Supporting Actress for Gadon. It was named the best Canadian film of the year at the Toronto Film Critics Association Awards 2014.
So this film never made it out of Canada? Is that what you're telling me?
Until A24 pretty much picked it
Yeah.
up.
Pretty much.
0 out of 10, not Dune. Hi, Aiden.
Fuck you guys.
This one was not shot by Deacons, and it wasn't shot by the guy who shot what's it called Unsandi. This was shot by Nicolas Bolduc. This one's edited by Matthew Hannem and and music by Daniel Bensi, Sounder Hurians, and it sits at an hour and 30 minutes. It doesn't have any budget here.
It's free.
No word about budget.
Free. Made free.
No, I doubt it. You don't get Jake Gyllenhaal for free.
Made free
No.
from a grant from Canada.
You could get him for discount if you're Denis Villeneuve, though.
Mm.
All right, so this is obviously my first pick. I chose this movie because I had never seen this movie.
Wait, what's that supposed to mean? This is obviously. What is that supposed to mean?
Yeah, I was like, it's obviously the first pick because this is the first week of the month.
Okay. I thought you were
Yeah.
saying I wouldn't pick this.
No, I mean,
why
like,
are you such a dick?
No, you idiot! I'm saying that it goes the first week, and I obviously won the coin toss, so this is my
This is
first
true.
pick. Yeah,
Okay, now that's obvious.
yeah. So I picked this one because I had never seen this movie before. This was one that I was always going to eventually get to, but I was stuck on doing other things and other responsibilities. So as of now, I only need to watch August 32nd on Earth and Malestrom. So to finish his filmography. But I'm gonna say my initial thoughts. I like this movie. I think it's really, really good. But I think it leaves me with more questions than I had going into the film. And I think that it's beautifully, beautifully shot. The line is really beautiful as well. And there's a lot of really good performances in here. But I think that the story and just really the script overall leaves me with way more questions than my answers. But yeah, Brad, what are your initial thoughts on Enemy?
My own worst enemy is me. That's really this fucking film. But I agree with you. Cinematography, beautiful. Acting, great.
Yeah.
I especially love Sarah Gadon.
Gadon.
In this, like, she plays that perfectly. She's just every time she's on screen, you can't look away. And I love this film. Like, this film was great, even with all the fucking spiders. I'm just like, what the okay.
Big ass spider,
That
bro.
means something. I'm gonna Google that what that means because I don't get it right now.
Yeah. Um, Kelvin, what do you think about? What are your initial thoughts about Enemy?
Well, I guess initial thoughts aren't there because I've seen this like I don't know. I think I saw it like in 2015 or 16, but initially I was definitely a little confused by it. But I did know that there was a lot of craftsmanship made with this film. Obviously, it's extremely beautiful. I'm really surprised that the DP hasn't really. He's done a lot of projects after, but he hasn't done anything to the level of Enemy yet in his career in general, or something of that popularity. But I was really really into the cinematography. That's what kind of drew me into the film at first, other than Denis being on it. But yeah, all the actors are perfectly casted. The whole environment is really great, and like this is like a really good instance where like Denis can give you like a good psychological thriller, and it shows how well it's directed in that sense. And much like Brad said, like dude, like yeah, like just Sarah Gadon's performance was like one of my favorite things in the film, you
Hmm.
know, and like that, and also like Gyllenhaal, like having those minor like this is where it does like a double film, right? Where like they're playing two characters, where this does it really right, where like
Hmm.
but it feels like two different people,
Yeah,
or
That's how it's
Gyllenhaal
supposed
has
to
like a
be.
twin. Yeah, like
Yeah.
there's little subtleties of like each character is very different from the other. You know, like
yeah,
the actor version of him is very different, and like the professor version of him is extremely different. And like one is an introvert, and one is like a very outspoken person. And this is a theory later on. I'm not gonna say it now, but like it's very like super well done. You can tell that they're both in very separate worlds, you know. And in some instances, it makes you question like, is it in reality or not, you know?
Yeah.
But an
And
initial reaction, I had the same reaction as Raul, which is like, yeah, I don't know if this is like, I don't know if this is set in real reality or like it's like I had more questions than I had statements.
yeah.
But after researching a little bit, I was like, okay, this movie makes sense. And I was really into it after that.
well, and my thing with like Sarah Gadon's performance, especially in the bedroom scene when they switched,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and being a married guy like for 6 years now, your wife can tell. Like your
Oh
wife
yeah.
can tell. Like he got in that bed way different than he usually did, and she fucking knew. She was
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
staring at him all the time, going, "That's not my husband."
For sure, and you could legitimately see her kind of like I want to say disappointment, but like just you could feel her fear or tension in the situation where like she feels like something's
Hmm.
off, you know.
But
Hmm.
then, like,
Plays
once she
I don't
gets,
know if I would call it fear though. I'd call it
yeah,
like more like curiosity in a
yeah,
way. Like she's
I think
curious.
that
The other one, like the
mm,
other Gyllenhaal, that was fear,
yeah.
especially when
Well,
the actress
because
noticed
we have that
the
beautiful
ring
shot. We have that
mark.
beautiful shot when he's in bed, when he's going into bed with her, and you just see kind of her like biting her lip a little bit, where because she's in focus and Gyllenhaal's body as he's like taking off his clothes is the one that's not in
mhm,
focus. You see her kind of biting her lip. So like at first, I think that it is kind of like that odd, like kind of like what are you doing here? Because you're obviously not him. But like
yeah,
she starts to like really fall for the idea of like, oh, it's just a nicer version of the guy that I'm with, who's a fucking
yeah,
asshole.
Hmm.
Is like, and this guy's actually treating me like he's asking me if I need anything because he sees that I'm pregnant. Like something
mhm,
that the actor never,
Didn't
ever, ever does.
just got mad
yeah.
Yeah,
that she didn't pick up the right blueberries.
yeah, because get the organic, not the conventional
Get
stuff.
the fucking organic ones. Like, dude, you're a fucking dickhead.
Yeah,
Third rate actor. Get out of here.
Oh man, but
I
yeah,
I came at the end of this. I'm like, I really feel like this was like two personalities of the same person, kind of fighting to see who would overtake one another. And you had the math teacher finally went out. That's
mhm,
how I felt this was. I didn't feel this was two different people because that just
mm,
really gets kind of fucking weird out there.
mhm.
yeah.
No, I think it's
Apparently,
a
there's
single
a.
person.
Mm-hmm. I apparently there's a what's it called a statue of the spider at
Mhm.
the National
By Louise
Gallery.
Bourgeois
Yeah,
is the artist.
yeah, National Gallery in Ottawa. Wow, that's cool. So they actually
Mhm.
have the fucking. That spider world.
Well, and from reading online, just different theories that spider like represents femininity.
And
Yeah.
vulnerability as well.
Yeah,
Which plays into the film quite well.
Yeah.
Especially if you analyze the end, but we'll talk about the end later.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But I mean, the lighting is beautiful, man. I love
Mhm.
when he does, because he does a lot of, well, he does it differently in Sicario because of course he's working with deacons, but like that
This film
beautiful,
is
like,
really well shot, though. Like,
yeah,
I love
really
the
well
use of
lit.
I love the use of natural lighting in this. Just the
Mhm.
windows coming in and stuff.
mm-hmm,
I really like those effects. I really love
yeah.
when they like go with natural lighting.
Just the opening scene, bro, of how beautifully like it looks. The opening scene when like we're going into the erotic show, and like
Yeah.
you're seeing how like the yellow reflecting on on the body, right? And it's just like beautifully like lit and colored. It surprises me that this cinematographer never worked with Denis after this. Like you didn't really
Or
work with
did
him
a
again.
project on this caliber again, you know?
Hmm.
Kind
Yeah,
of wonder. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're doing like really crazy stuff,
in
but
Canada.
Change their name,
but
change
no,
their
like
identity.
their stuff was brilliant, honestly. I was like honestly floored by just a lot of the framing choices, and in general, like I was just
I,
really into it. I don't know.
like that opening scene where it's just the image of the reflection in the stage coming up. I thought that was well done. I thought
Yeah,
like
Mhm.
that whole scene
absolutely.
was well done. And then you get into basically a man's mundane life, and it's kind of confusing in that like you just went from this really, you know, high level different scene, and now you're looking at a math teacher who, to me, every day he goes home and just kind of wants to jump off like his balcony. That's really
Yeah.
how I feel.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's like so like the professor's like super fucking what's it called, unhappy,
Mhm.
but he really cares for his wife.
Mhm.
Whereas like the
Is
wife
that
in
his
his
wife though, or his girlfriend?
girlfriend,
Because she don't live there.
she doesn't. Oh, okay, so yeah, like girlfriend, and who like obviously like in the film, I feel like that like, well, at least his perception of his girlfriend, if that is like his girlfriend, uh, feels like he doesn't really give a shit. Like
Like it's kind of like an empty relationship, just kind of
yeah,
just sexual for
Mhm.
both of them. That's
yeah,
all it really feels like, which might explain why that character, along with his other personality, are just dead in the end, just deaded.
yeah. Well, you get rid of the two worst parts of you. You know.
And there we go.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. Kill two birds with one stone, bro.
Well,
But
one Volvo.
yeah, mm, yeah.
Although I
I
don't
just
know why they used a Volvo, the safest fucking car ever. Just be like, well, they lived.
fucking brutal ass. What's it called? A car
Whew.
crash though.
Yeah,
God damn.
that was pretty. That was like, and
Yeah,
then because it like does a total 90 and just rams into the wall. You're like,
yeah,
Yeah.
damn.
yeah.
It was
Fucking brutal,
it's just
brutal.
implied by the crash. It's like, nah, it's
Yeah,
over.
they did.
But then
Mhm.
like, what's it called? But then Denis always has a way of like implying the brutality of the violence. That yeah, it's something that he constantly does in other movies. Like in Prisoners, like it's the most violent you can see him get. But like
But
in
it's
other,
swift at the
it's
same
swift.
time. Mhm.
And like but like in most of the other movies, like the brutality is like really like subtle, and it's not really like not something that you linger on so much. It's like a
Mhm.
really fast thing that happens in there, but it's like not the most important part of the movie.
Right.
Well, and this is kind of like a climax because you start with the one personality being like, "Yo, I'm taking your girl out, and this is how it's gonna be," and it just continues to go and go and go until boom, end of
Yeah,
scene. So he's really good at like getting that effect of just
yeah,
building, and then boom.
yeah.
Exactly.
So I was gonna ask. So if the idea is that what's it called, that this world is basically the subconscious, and let's say the brain of Jake Gyllenhaal's like central character, Jake Gyllenhaal's
Mhm.
character. Um, the guy who's like asking about like the erotic show, like when are they gonna do it again? Is that like his like that weakness of like his weakness towards wanting to be with other women and wanting to what's it called
Sexual urges. That's the little
Yeah,
sexual
it's a
devil on his.
urges?
sexual
That was
urges,
the little devil
exactly.
on his shoulder, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Like, hey, let's go see a show. I gotta go,
Exactly.
man. Gotta go.
yeah. I mean, it seems that like at the end, he kind of repeats the same mistake. He doesn't. He changes, but like at the same time, he kind of doesn't change because he's gonna go. He's going back. He
No,
got the key.
that's
We
exactly what
don't
it is. It's
know.
like the key is definitely some sort of like weird underground, like some sort of sexual ring, right? Or
Hmm.
like some sort of prostitution ring or something like that.
Hmm.
We don't. It's
Yeah.
never really said, but we know it's like some sort of underground thing.
Well,
And
yeah, because there
then
was a bunch of women coming out in robes and presenting themselves to them. So
right.
it's pretty much like an underground
Well,
prostitution
and if it
ring.
is his
Mhm.
subconscious, it could be something simple as porn. Honestly,
True, yeah, it could just be his sexual drive,
yeah.
taking over. Like we don't know what it is. There might not be a whole room with like women. That could just be his desire. But what we do
Although that
know
is a
is
great
that
way to show it.
exactly. But what we do know is that I think if it is the same person, then the good part of him took over his life to kill that curiosity within him, right? But then he gets the
Mhm.
key again, and that key is kind of the curiosity which comes back to him, and he's telling his wife like, hey, like, or his girlfriend or whatever it is at that point, like, hey, like, I'm gonna go out. And then we see the spider crawling back, and it's like, okay, the spider is, I think the spider still, it's his subconscious mind of like vulnerability, and like we were talking about with the sculpture, it's
Mhm.
vulnerability, it's femininity. And then we realize like, oh, that's like his wife reacting to like what he's about to do.
Hmm.
She knows, and like we all know like what he's going to do. Like he's gonna go like try to see what's going on with this prostitution ring and all that. And like
Yeah.
um I think that, I don't know if that tells him, I don't know, because that's where the ending is open ended. I don't know if that tells him like I need to stop doing this, or he's gonna keep going at it, or if it just shows him that he saw the fear. And like that was the thing that drew me to the film, which was like, oh, it doesn't exactly tell you like why his subconscious took over his mind, but it does give you little hints towards it, and
Yeah.
makes really 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 cool, like it gives you a really good like stand-in, or like or like some sort of like an iconography there with the spider to show you what it means, I guess. But
Yeah. Which it's just like it's really interesting because like the spider is always so far away from him in the other
hmm
shots. Like the only time it's ever been close is when it was like a little spider when he was at the show.
Hmm.
But after that,
And
like
then it's just growing and growing and
and yeah,
growing
but it's
until
grow.
it's
always
like
so
War of the
far.
Worlds fucking spider, which was the
hmm
dope scene. I gotta admit
Yeah.
that city with the giant spider,
Oh yeah,
like
one of
that
the
was pretty
best
cool.
shots in this whole
But if
movie.
you've seen the
Yeah.
poster too, the city is his mind, is on top of his mind, right?
Yeah.
So if it
Yeah.
is, then I don't know how much posters have to play with it, but if it is his mind, then the city might resemble his subconscious, and the spider might represent like that fear that he's bringing into his mind or whatever. Like
That
it's
that that actually might explain because this character is definitely depressed, and
yes.
Oh
you
shit,
see
hell yeah.
his whole world around him is depressing to look at. The
hmm
college he freaking teaches at, it's like a rundown college. It's
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
they forgot to raise fees or some shit. They're giving books out for free or something. I don't know.
hmm
Yeah. And I mean he also kind of like teaches the same lesson twice about the dictatorships.
A few
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
it's
times.
yeah.
yeah, and it's I mean I guess like in a way I guess he's trying like you're saying like I guess our sexual desires in a way are our dictators because they're the ones who end up most of the time we end up thinking with the different head that's on the bottom of our bodies than
Yeah.
the one that's on top. But and he honestly doesn't really like teaching. He doesn't really like to teach. He just seems to be good at it, and he kind of takes that.
I think I don't know if I just don't think he likes the situation he's in. I don't know if
Yeah,
he hates his passion per se, like if he hates teaching, right? Whether or not this is passion, I'm not sure, but I just don't think he likes like where he's at,
Mm.
and like
well,
what.
and what I got from it was like he does seem like he really enjoys it in that first time he gives the speech.
It
And
does,
then
yeah.
to me it was like this is like different years or different classes where he has to teach the same thing.
Yeah,
And just after every one you get tired of saying the same shit.
same shit.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Mm. Do you think? Do you think the actor? Do you think Anthony liked acting? Or do you think that was just another one like, oh, I'm really comfortable with what I'm doing because I'm making a fuck ton of money now
I
and
don't
I'm
think
really
he
famous?
acted that much because remember when he came in, the dude was like, I haven't seen you for 6 months. It's like, this dude doesn't have a job.
Hmm.
He rides around on his motorcycle looking
Yeah,
for other women to screw. Like,
I think he like he's making his residuals
yeah.
of his movies.
Of
Yeah.
the three
Yeah,
Canadian
and
films
he's
he's done.
obviously not working anymore because he has like all this time to go running and he's always on his motorcycle. He
Hmm.
doesn't I don't like I think Red's right here. Like I don't think this guy acts
Well, and
anymore.
even the mother says your half thought out or half assed acting career or
Yeah.
acting dream.
Which
That
by
to
the
me
way,
says like he never really went after that.
Hmm.
which by the way, that woman can age and she always looks so beautiful. Isabella Rossellini is one of the most beautiful women ever. And it's wild. That woman can age and she still looks beautiful, man. Which by the way, Isabella Rossellini was one of Martin Scorsese's wives.
Ah,
Wow.
Yeah, one of his past wives.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. You think Denis got insider information during that film?
that
That would
actually
be
makes
funny.
sense since
Yeah.
the daughter of Ingrid Bergman.
Yeah.
Martin's got a third leg, bro. You didn't even know
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Denis
Yeah,
just
the
standing
daughter
there
of
like,
Ingrid
oh no.
Bergman.
Oh dang.
But
That's crazy.
yeah, I just I still find this movie like really fascinating though, and I like that it's like it made me think a lot more. And it is my least favorite of his movies, but I still think it's a really good movie, and it's one that like upon a rewatch, I think I can like really start getting more of a grasp on it. But
Hmm.
right now, it kind of sits at the bottom of his films for me. But
Just don't get it, man. No.
I just don't get it, man.
You need a rewatch. You need to
Yeah,
do a
This
few
is
really,
this is
watches.
the last person I ever say that to, which is like, you
just
just
don't
don't
get it,
get
man.
it, man. You know, like no, it's
Yeah.
like, I think it's just I don't know. I thought this would be one of your favorites, but I do
I
think
quite
that
en-
it.
I quite like this actually.
I
I
love it.
love this movie. Like it was
Yeah.
really like just watching it overall was great.
Hmm.
I mean,
It
I didn't
does.
quite get the spiders at first, but after reading about them, you're like, that makes sense.
It
Yeah.
does get better with rewatches, and also like when I rewatched it, I didn't notice the numbers thing. Like the key has like 77, and like his room
Yeah.
number is like 75, and like there's different numbers, and it's just like okay, so this world isn't real, or it's trying to tell you something like something is elevating based on these
Yeah.
things. Maybe it's a unit of importance, but like
This is kind of like Denise fucking Mulholland Drive in a way, isn't it?
it's definitely like the film where like he's trying to say more by saying less, I guess. You know, he's
Yeah.
trying to put more metaphors through objects and like things going on and
Mm,
not in the story but like in the background. Same thing with like
yeah.
Mulholland Drive, I guess, you know, like where you look objects definitely play more of a prominent role in telling the story. Like
Yeah.
I mean, we already talked about the spider. I'm sure the motorcycle helmet has something to do with it, and like also like just the
Yeah.
numbers and the key, and like there's all
This
these
is
different.
one of his most fascinating though. I will
Mhm.
say that like for me to keep being intrigued throughout the whole film is something here whereas like, um yeah, a lot of other directors have tried to do something like this and to me it's always kind of lost its like its footing along the way, but here just it's just constantly able to deliver for me because like the performances are that fucking good and just the story
Mhm.
keeps like intriguing you, and when it's paired up with it's just like really good cinematography it also helps a lot.
For sure, yeah. It still feels like Denny's still has Denny's craftsman style,
Oh
you
yeah.
know, which is
Yeah.
great. I don't think he'll ever lose that, or he's never not had it. Like down to ensemble
Mm,
like I haven't seen a single film of his that just hasn't had like just like I put effort into this. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
it none of them feel that way at all. And this one, in this one, even though like the budget is pretty low,
Hmm.
Prisoners was a little higher, right? It was like
Yeah, it's a little higher, but like
it's still very
it's
low
still a big
budget.
movie. Yeah, it's still a low budget film. Um, I would say that after this is where he kind of makes a lot more bigger movies. Because
Yeah,
like even though Prisoners is pretty low budget, it's still a pretty big movie.
it's
I would say.
extremely low budget for working with Roger, but
Yeah.
it's still a high budget.
Oh,
So
hold on,
like,
bro. Yeah, never mind, bro. It's a mid-budget film. Um, Prisoners is 46 million.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
lot. But for
yeah,
Roger working with that level, it's like nothing.
yeah,
Like pretty much after Roger did No Country, it was like this dude's
yeah,
not doing a film for under 100 million unless you're
yeah,
really good. Um,
yeah,
it's mid budget. It's not micro, and but it's not macro. But it is a low
yeah.
budget film. But this film is compared to that much more, and it doesn't look it. It looks great. I'm genuinely like this DP needs more credit because this shit looks phenomenal. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie. Like I pulled references. I've taken direct inspirations from this film of like, wow, this is really good lighting and like, because you
Mhm.
know that they're not doing a full like ensemble of set design or anything like that, but they're doing at what they the most that they can with what they have, and this
Yeah.
DP deserves a lot of credit for that because I kind of wonder like, wow, what would they do with like a over 10 to 20 million dollar budget,
Yeah.
because they did a great job. um
And also just like Denis seems to know how to pick them, the cinematographers, because like
True.
whether it's Bradford Young in Arrival, or it's
Hmm.
fucking Deakins and all the other ones he's worked with, or even
Well,
now
I
as of
think
late,
after this film, I think it was just
Fraser.
pretty, yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's just pretty well established that like if you're one of the better directors, you're gonna get the top talent,
yeah.
that's just the way it works.
Because yeah, even
But
fucking what's it called, Andre Turpin, who does
mhm.
Incendie, who does Polytechnique, and like he's not bad at all. He's really good.
No, he's great. He also did Mommy.
Yeah,
That dude is a DP for sure. And like
yeah,
this guy, I'm sure he's like accredited in some organization. I'm sure he's also really really well
yeah,
done. Why they didn't work again, I don't know. I mean actually it's kind of obvious. Why they didn't work again is because Roger was like, I want to work with you in the next one. And you don't
yeah.
say no to that. Like you're just not going to be like, "Oh, no, like screw you,
No,
Roger." Like I
yeah,
I would understand even if I made this film and like I made it look this good or better, like
And
I
Roger
would be
Deakins
like
comes out as somewhere and be like, "I
I'd
want
be
to
like,
work
I
with you."
can't do anything, like could I talk to him before he steals my job? Sure. Like that I like you know what I mean? Like there's nothing you can do after that. But I
It is
mean it's
surprising he hasn't got more work. I will say that.
it
he
looks like he's
has. I
mainly
mean,
working in Canada.
let me see his
Maybe
other
he just
work.
can't
I
leave
mean,
Canada.
if I were this DP, I would have just been like, "Hey, dude, like, can you hook it up? Because like
Yeah,
I feel
throw
like I
me a
did a good
bone.
job.
Yeah,
I feel
like
like
I can do a good job.
I did my best here, bro. I mean, let me see. He
Yo,
did
get me out of Canada, bro, please.
let me see. He did a well, I don't know, maybe because Denis is also a very visual guy, so maybe this
Yeah,
guy isn't as good as no, he's pretty good. I'm looking at his other work right now.
yeah. Well, um,
He's probably doing just fine. Like he's probably
yeah.
doing just fine. Like no need to worry about.
He's got all them Gatorade commercials and Nike commercials. Probably he's fine.
Yeah, he's doing great.
Just do fine.
And he's
You
still
see
working
it?
on films, which is,
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's still fucking work. He's got like two credits so far to 2021.
Oh, there you
yeah,
go.
Yeah,
he's doing fine. He's
yeah.
doing
It looks
okay,
like he's doing a lot of Canadian stuff.
That
which
makes
is
sense if
cool.
he
He
can't leave
probably
Canada.
maybe he doesn't want to leave Canada.
Yeah.
Oh, he just did a movie with Gary Oldman.
Oh,
It
shit.
doesn't have great raving reviews, but I mean like
Yeah.
It's not
What
his
does it
fault technically.
mean? What does it mean when it says photographed by?
it's the same thing.
It's just saying
Um,
that they just decided to put like a different spin to it.
I think it's just yeah, I think it's the same thing. I don't know.
Yeah. Because
IMDb
it
is weird
says
like that.
photographed by on Enemy, and like everything else is like cinematographer.
Here's his
So
director of photography for
yeah,
me. I don't know.
yeah. Well, either way, I really like this one, and yeah, because the one that's in post production that he recently worked on is with Peter Dinklage and Matt Dillon or whatever his name is, and
You're
Danny
talking about
Glover's in it.
the DP?
Yeah, he just worked on a movie with those two, with those
Hmm.
three.
Is it American Dreamer?
American Dreamer, yeah.
Who's the director?
Paul Dector.
I've never heard of this man in my life.
What has Paul Dector done? I don't know.
This is
Yeah,
it. Couple
that's
things in
all. That's
2016.
it's
That's it.
that's his
There's
directorial
one
debut. Yeah, that's
Who's the
with Peter
writers?
Dinklage.
The
yeah.
writers did like Saint Vincent and Hidden Figures and like
Oh, okay.
B-list
Yeah.
movies. Yep, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I mean, I also have not heard Denny talk much about the cinematographer, and we know he's really into collaborating
Yeah.
heavily. So I don't know if this is a situation where maybe Denny just told him what to do, or like the guy just did
Yeah.
his own thing and they didn't really collaborate much. Maybe the cinematographer, like maybe they did have a good collaboration process, but then Roger came along and no one can compete with Roger. So
Yeah.
I I,
And it
I
feels
don't.
like I think moving forward, I think if he's not going to be working with Roger, I think he's going to be working with Frazier, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, like it's gonna be either or. I mean, like,
Yeah.
oh, dude, Fraser can't join. I'll just hit up Roger. What you up to?
He's gonna
Like,
hit up,
oh,
right?
yeah. Like, I mean, like, dude, I got
Oh, 1A can join. Okay, let me go to 1B then.
B
yeah. 1B is technically better than 1A, and 1A is getting better
tier.
than 1B. You know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah.
like, oh man, I have to sub out Kareem for Magic. Aw,
Oh.
damn it.
Dang
This
it.
sucks, dude. Oh
Yeah.
man, what if I had to get Bradford Young? That would suck. Like, no, he's like, uh,
Yeah.
Denny is fine. We know Denny is fine, and this guy's doing good. You know, he's not working
Yeah.
on like critically acclaimed things with Inuritu. Maybe he doesn't want to. I mean, honestly, I've worked with
Especially if they're
Super
not in
Talent.
Canada.
Yeah, I
Maybe
mean,
if Denis goes back to Canada.
true.
Yeah.
I mean, I've worked with
Which
super
I
talented
doubt it,
DPs who
bro.
just don't want to really. They'll do like a critically acclaimed film that comes to them, but
Yeah.
they're more about the business.
So
You
I
know.
watched I watched an interview with Denis for what's it called, for the junkets for doing. He was like, after this, I'm pretty much gonna make more big movies, but not like big like what's it called in in budget. He goes like just big like in scope, and maybe when I get older and I stop getting bored of it and I get bored of it, I'll go back to those smaller films. But he says at this time, I can still make these big movies.
Yeah, he
So
might
like
as well
I
write
don't
it out.
yeah. Yeah, so
If
I
he
don't think
wants to
he's
do that,
moving back
go
to
for it.
Canada
You
anytime
know,
soon. Yeah.
I think it
Denis
would
goes
be
to Canada.
cool. I think it'd be cool because I know Roger wants to do smaller stuff, but
Yeah.
then he goes to Canada.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and give Enemy a 9 out of 10 here, and we're already gonna be starting strong here. I'm giving what's it called, Enemy a 9 out of 10. Brad, what is your final verdict on Enemy?
That's a good number. 9 out of 10.
All right, Kelvin, what's your final verdict here on Enemy? We do it out of 10 here.
Triple nines. Triple nine is good. I like nine. And nine
All
is a
right.
good. I give it like a strong nine though. Like
Hmm.
Yeah.
maybe like over a 9.5. You know what I
I mean,
mean?
like on a rewatch, it may go up.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
may
on a
go up for
rewatch,
sure.
first initial viewing, it was like 8.5, but then like
Hmm.
now it's like after two or three
Yeah.
rewatches, I'm like, yeah, this is a really good movie.
Yeah. Oh, you definitely rewatched this more than once, haven't you?
Yeah, it's been like 3 or 4 times, I
I
think.
just want to see more crushing of the spider with stilettos. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
Mhm.
rewind and watch that scene.
Yeah. And having sex with your pregnant wife,
That turns into a spider.
the spider, yeah. Yep.
And
All right,
getting in a
man.
car crash, a devastating car crash.
You'd be
Yeah.
like, that was dope.
Boom. Either way, it's been a great time here, y'all, and that's been our review of Enemy. And as always, we want to thank the wonderful people who help make the show possible, and that is our patrons. That is our patrons. Thank you so much to our patrons for making the show possible. We want to thank our producers and our writers. We want to thank our associate producer Sarah. Thank you so much, Sarah, for making the show possible, for supporting us all this time. We want to thank our executive producer Shane. Where can they find him, Brad?
You follow our friend Shane at twitch.tv/XSRK or on Twitter at XSRK_. Also, go buy something from the Suppy God at thriftedil.com.
Fuck yeah. And as always, we want to thank our writers, Tony
Hey, Tony.
at Real Nerdy Dad, and our other writer, who I don't know what the fuck he's gonna pick this month, Luis. Go follow Luis at Luis A. Garcia 001 on Twitter and Luigi on IG on Instagram. LonelyOnlyFans.com to go vote for his short film.
I don't know if I've updated that. I need to update that.
He updated, goddammit.
Send me the
Vote for his
link
short
again.
film.
Send me the link again. I don't know.
But yeah, go and vote for his short film A Life's Worth and follow Lockster Studios on all places where he's available. But of course, Kelvin, do you want to plug anything, or you just you will ride this one
Chilling.
out?
Just my IG as usual, Kelvinator_get down. You could find everything else there on my website. That's all I really want to plug. If you want
Alright.
to check out my cinematography, wait for Raul's film to come out and like 5 other films to come out. And we'll see what happens.
Yeah, Kelvin put some work in recently. Yeah.
I'm done. I'm not working on anything anymore. I,
So I'm retired.
I'm waiting for these things to be released, and then like I'll see what happens after that. You know, like I'm chilling.
Shut the fuck up. You're over here asking me what the next script is.
I am. That's true. That's true.
He's waiting for the
Uh,
sequel.
Shut up, Brad.
and I'm meeting Gabe to talk about maybe doing his film. So like there's a lot what's going on right now.
Yeah, man.
But right like at this moment I have a dead cat in my finger and I'm keeping it that way. I'm not doing anything else.
All right. Of course, you will catch us live again on Thursday for our review of Dune Part 1. But tomorrow, Brad will be on Survivors of Flames, and I will be pushing buttons for Survivors of Flames tomorrow.
We'll be
With
20
that,
minutes early.
yeah, please, because I got the frame. Oh, and I'm sure that I hope that the Astros win tonight.
I'm hoping the
So,
Braves win.
Fuck
Braves
the
are up.
Braves,
Braves
man.
are up 3 last I checked. Here, let's check right now. World
Yeah, if they win Game 6, they win it all.
Fuck
6-0.
the Braves.
Oh, we're down, son. We are so down.
Okay, so then maybe I'll see AK tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe we'll get to see AK tomorrow. Yay!
All right. With that said,
That's really the only reason I want them to win.
One more thing we didn't talk about this film, and it's criminal that we didn't. The soundtrack might be one of Denis' best. The soundtrack is really good.
Very true.
Honestly.
True.
Very true.
The
That's
soundtrack
is
was
really great.
yeah, like that soundtrack. I don't know. Only other film I think I can beat it is like Blade Runner out of this whole thing, and like that even includes Dune. Like I was like, this soundtrack's really good.
Wait, so like when we talk soundtrack, are we talking score or are we talking music involved in the film from other
No
artists?
score, like original score.
Score?
Like I'd say,
I
yeah.
disagree with you. Then it's Dune. Dune is
I think
definitely.
Dune wins on for sure, but I'm
Yeah.
saying like this is like a hidden gem that if you watched it,
Yeah.
you'd be like, dang, this is a really good soundtrack.
And it's a
Because
very
it-
underrated score
Mhm.
because like these two composers aren't that well. Like they don't even have fucking
Mm-mm.
Wikipedia pages.
No,
I
dude,
don't
there
know.
and this score was like phenomenal. This is really like Denis like unsung like this is very much his like
Hidden gem, yeah.
it's a hidden gem. Yeah, I mean it's more known than Ensemble, I'd say, but it's like it's somehow like a lot of the people who work on it are like top tier talent and like they're just not known and like there's a lot of like behind the scene people who do a really great job and like I don't know. I love that soundtrack so much. I love the cinematography. Everything about this film is great. But
Yeah.
it was a one and done thing.
I'm just gonna say Dune score lost me when that Christopher Nolan sound made its way into the film.
Oh, the
What,
I mean,
Brad? You like the bagpipes,
had
Brad?
that.
I'm not gonna be able to hear dialogue ever
And
again.
that's the thing is like I think this one was allowed to be original because it didn't have the huge budget attached to it. So like they probably just told him like
Oh,
do
man.
whatever you want.
That song when
But
he's leaving Kaladin, bro.
okay,
It's
yeah,
like, like
it's
nah, man.
but here's the thing: the Dune soundtrack it's really really good.
It's fucking great, man.
I really enjoy it.
But
But
Brad,
this movie
the bagpipes, Brad, the bagpipes.
That was kind of dope. Not gonna lie, that was kind of unexpected. I'm like, there's fucking bagpipes.
With that said,
Bagpipes still exist.
Brad,
Fuck.
set them out.
All right, Raul. Thank you for being host as always. Thank you to Kelvin for joining us today to review this really good movie. Thank you to all those who joined us in chat today, all our listeners out there, all our Patreon supporters. We appreciate each and every one of you. And to end this, go fight yourself. Young Yoda out.